Listen to that sound. Ah, so good. And I'm going to show you the secret to getting that super crispy crunch. So first up, we're going to do the pepper part, and I'm going to go all out and use 3 peppercorns, but you could totally just choose one, like just a normal black pepper would be fine, but I'm going to go with some black pepper, some white pepper, and then for some really cool, like tangy spiciness, I'm going to go with some Szechuan peppercorns too. I just want to grind those up. Now, because the pepper is such an integral part of the flavor for this dish, grinding the peppercorns fresh makes a huge difference. You get a really beautiful fresh flavor. Smell already is so beautiful. Now I want half of that pepper mixture into my chicken wings, and then what we're going to do now is cure the chicken wings. So instead of brining them in liquid, we're going to just add salt and a little bit of garlic powder. So by using this sort of salt cure rather than doing like a liquid brine, it means that we're keeping the chicken pieces really nice and dry, and that's really important for when we come to the crispy frying part later. Okay, now I'm going to get these out onto a tray. I've just got a baking rack sitting here, and what that does is it allows all these guys some time in the air to dry out a little bit while that salt is working its magic. Okay, now these guys need to go into the fridge about 4 hours, or even overnight is really good. Okay, so now that these guys have had time with all that salt and all that flavor, they're ready for the deep frying part. Now, there's a couple of things here that we're going to do that are going to get that extra special crispiness. First up is we want to make a batter. Now, we're going to start with some corn flour and some plain flour. And now, tip number 1, use really cold water. So the cold water makes the batter cold, obviously, and when that cold batter hits the hot oil, that's when you get the magic crispiness. I'm going to whisk this through till we have a smooth batter with no lumps, and you'll be surprised at how light this batter is. It should be about the consistency of like coconut milk, so not very thick at all. Now let's talk about the deep frying part. So we are going to do a twice fry. First time round, we're going to keep the oil a little bit lower, and by lower I mean when you get a wooden spoon and you stick that into the oil, we should get a nice little sort of gentle bubbling. Now if you want to get technical about it, that should be around about like 150 degrees Celsius, and I want to dip my chicken pieces in here, drip off some of that batter and get that straight into the oil. Now I like to do this two-handed, so as the chicken goes in, I sort of just use a chopstick or some tongs to sort of keep it moving so it doesn't stick too much to the bottom of the pan. And the other trick here is that you really want to keep your oil clean. So if you've got one of these little spider situations, you can just remove some of the excess batter that has fallen off or fallen away. That means we won't get any dark burnt bits on our chicken. Now the reason this double fry works so well is that this first frying part has released a lot of the moisture that's inside that chicken, and of course moisture is the enemy of getting anything crisp. So at this stage, you can leave these guys hanging around for a little bit. They can even go in the fridge. It's great if you're doing a party because you can make these in advance, because it's the next frying part that's the really important part. Now for this one, when I put my wooden spoon in, I should get a really furious bubble. So, you know, at least 175, 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, now chicken wings back into the oil. Now hear that furious bubble? That's what you want. That's the sound of our chicken wings getting super crispy. Now I want to give these guys another 3 to 4 minutes, or until they are super golden and super crunchy. Again, move them around. It's all these little details that really make the difference. As if these guys aren't totally extra enough, we're going to go one step further. And just the other half of that pepper that we had made before, I'm going to add some chili flakes. And now we have this super fragrant salt and pepper mix. And I want to sprinkle that all over these wings. Oh, listen to that sound. Now get these out onto a plate. Now you could serve these guys on their own, they're that good, but I like to add a little bit of chili sauce on the side, and I have an amazing Marian's Kitchen coconut sriracha, which is out of this world epic, and that, my friends, is the perfect accompaniment for these crispy, crispy wings. You are going to have some very happy customers.